Hi, this is Jim Houtling. It's 3:42 on October 25th, 2021. It's a Monday. And this one is going to cover a rebuttal of Supreme Aluminum Florida's response on Google reviews. And what they said on there is absolutely false. And I'm going to walk you through and prove it step by step of what happened from the beginning. And then I'm going to review Google review with you to show my words and show the words of the president of Supreme Aluminum Florida. So here we go. This is my channel. My channel has 6 videos right now, and they're doing very well over the course of the last 5 weeks. These are all negative review videos of Supreme Aluminum Florida. And what I've done, and it's all factual, it's at the best of my ability, is to walk through and tell the public exactly what happened to me and why I am a victim of this company. And today will be a further discussion of that, as well as rebuttal to what they put on their Google review from my response. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So what we're going to do right now is I want to show you their invoice, this was done at the time we were doing business, because I had to wait from April 16th until August 27th before they even started working in my backyard. And it shows their quote with an insulated roof of $4,896, and then they want $3,000 for the 6-footers, $1,200 for the engineering and runner services. They gave me a little discount there that I have the city fees. And then there's a credit charge down here of 3%. Basically, if I use a charge card, they charge me an extra 3%. But if you look at the bottom here, it shows that on April 16th, I deposited $2,000. On June 22nd, I also gave them money for $2,408, so that's $4,408. And at that time, I owed $4,700 left. Now, I'm going to show you the termination letter. This is a letter written to my wife. She is actually on the deed, but on the mortgage. We're both on the mortgage. And Elena is her name. This is a formal letter from Daniel Del Pino of Supreme Aluminum Florida, LLC, at this address on October 7th, 2021. But there is actually one that they wrote earlier that's up here that is actually, this is September 14th, 2021. I don't know why they wrote it again, but they did. And this is the termination letter that basically said that they terminated the project with us, and I have 21 days in order to find another contractor, which I did. They said we tried to resolve the rafter peacefully and respectfully, but unfortunately we did not come to a resolution. Well, I can tell you flat out, they did not do any kind of negotiation with me. This letter was the first time I ever heard from the president of Supreme Aluminum. And I also never saw the project manager ever enter my property. Never talked to me, only on texting. That's it, or an email. That is it. So what they've done is they said, okay, we have a contract of $8,700. We deposited $2,000 and then another payment of $2,408. That's good. They're charging me for $3,000, which is the full completion of the footers. And when I show you the picture, you can see they never finished those, but they're charging me that much. Then they have the permit service in there, administrative fee, a restocking fee of $819 because they chose immediately to send the roof kit back to the roof kit company and charge me for that restocking of that kit, which I say is totally wrong. They're the ones that bailed out. I didn't fire them. They left me in an instant. And then they have their commission on here. What they say I still owe is $1,644. So that's where we're at with that document. Now I want to go to the pictures. That's what I wanted to show you. Hang on. Let me find them here. Here we go. At the start, this is what my beautiful patio looked like. 24 by 24 square. And I just finished this patio. And then we decided, because we were told we couldn't have a temporary structure like a party tent in the back, the HOA says we have to get rid of that, and if you're going to have anything back there, you got to put a permanent structure in. So that's what we did. So as you can see, this is a beautiful patio at that time. And after we got Supreme Aluminum on board and August 27th came around, these three guys showed up. They are the hole digging crew, as you can see. And the interesting about this hole digging crew is they also set the columns, and they also poured the concrete. And never were president of the company of Supreme Aluminum, never on my property, nor the project manager, never on my property. So then we had, after they dug the holes and put in the rebar and trussed up the columns a little bit, this is the whole preparation for the Miami-Dade inspector to come and look, make sure the hole is the right size and the rebar is where it's supposed to be. This is the mess Miami-Dade inspector saw, and as you notice, these columns are not in position. They're just hanging in the hole because all the inspector did was look at the hole for the size and the rebar locations. That's it. After that, he left. The only person from Supreme Aluminum, Florida that came here was a customer service woman who was here when the inspector was here. As soon as he signed off the paperwork, she told the hole digging crew to truss up the columns in position and the okay to pour the concrete, which happened the next day. So here we go. As you can see, the columns are in. That's fine to a point, but they never filled the foundations completely with concrete. Reason being, they didn't have enough with them. They left it just like this. So one slab is underneath, and now they were supposed to come back and finish it up. I had an issue with these columns being too close to the openings. I wanted them in the center. This gives you an idea how far off it is. This column should be way out here in the center of the 30-inch hole, and it's at least 8 inches off. At least 8 inches off. Now, I found out later on, after they abandoned the project, that's what this picture here is what I showed them, that I didn't like this, and I think there's something wrong, and I want somebody to come out and look at it. And they said they had to get back to their professional civil engineer to define or to decide whether what is going on here is actually to Miami-Dade and Florida code. And they did that. They came back and said, hey, it's to code. We're not going to do anything with this. Well, then I found out that the setback to the pergola has been violated. This pillar should be here on center. The edge of the roof of the pergola is out here. This is the 11 feet to my house. So as you can see, this opening really should be out here, and it's here. Everything has been toward the back lot line and thrown everything off. This is what I requested for them to do. I wanted them to put in rebar near the top with this, because this slab, the next slab is going to be so shallow, and I wanted the pillars to be held rigidly by rebar, and I said I would pay for it. Well, the project manager said, Well, that's fine. You buy the rebar, I'll put it in. That was on September 8th. September 9th, I got the termination letter, which you saw, that said that Supreme Aluminum is abandoning my project, and they will pull everything out and leave everything else as is. They didn't finish up the foundations. They didn't remove the waste. This is where we are right now. You can see the waste here. This is how they left it. They left it. The other thing I want to say, the whole digging crew did not even put these 3 pillars at the right distance to these 3 pillars. They're supposed to be on 10 feet centers, and they're off 4 inches. They're at 9 feet 8 inches, which compounds this problem of being too close to the edge of the holes. That is the real problem that I saw. And then I found out almost a week later, after complaining with Miami-Dade inspection, that these guys actually violated the back setback to the lot line from the pergola, which was supposed to be 13 feet to the center of these pillars, and it's not. It's 20 inches at least in the opposite direction. And you can also see back here that these pillars are also to the left. So this hole digging crew dug all of the holes, set up the columns for inspection of the rebar and the sides of the holes. Then they put the columns in place where they were supposed to be according to the engineering drawing, and they messed that up also because now these columns are too close to these columns on the left. So that is where we are with Supreme Aluminum. And I'm being called a difficult customer because I stuck my nose into this. That's the way it goes. So I've been struggling ever since. Now I have got a new contractor. They're going to open these up. They did. They've already cut this, so they have at least 13 inches of concrete on this side, and they put the rebar in like this, as you see. They have done that. So here's a gentleman from American Aluminum Fabricators. This guy is really good. He knows his stuff. This company is very respectful. They'll do what you want. If you're not happy, they will fix it. They work with me every day. The team leader as well as these guys, there were 2, that's all that I had. But they did all of the foundations for me just the way I wanted. And this is what it looks like completed. Instead of having this column only 5 inches to the opening, now I've got an opening that went from 30 inches to 44 inches. So 14 more inches on that opening. That means 19 inches from here all the way back to here. And we've got lots of concrete all the way around. This is what it looks like today. We're not quite done yet. There's some finishing work left on top. That's coming. And as you can see, I have my party tent up for now. And by Thursday, the roof kit will be here. So by the end of the week, I will have a completed, and I have company coming today that will enjoy this pergola with me. It was supposed to be done by Supreme Aluminum before, but like I said, on September 9th, they bailed out and they never came back. And I'll give you the reason why that has happened. There's another picture of it, looking much better. But I still violating the lot line, supposedly. And come to find out, after I threatened Miami-Dade inspection for not having the right checking points on this project, and the most, I would say the moment of truth is to inspect the location of the columns to the engineering drawing, before pouring concrete, and that was not done. Miami-Dade inspection did not do that. They allowed the concrete to be poured. They never said they were coming back. And here we are with this mess that I'm involved with. So, from here, these are the two gentlemen that did the job, but they're showing what they are doing here. They're actually mixing the concrete before pouring. Where, if I were to go way back, to this point where the concrete is in here, I know for a fact that Supreme Aluminum Florida, their hole digging crew, did not mix any concrete. They dumped the bags of saccrete right in the hole, added the water, and did a little stirring while still the structure is around it. As you can see, this is what it looks like with the structure around it, but they aligned the poles, the columns, before pouring the concrete, where this picture doesn't show that. So they just dumped the concrete powder into the hole, added some water, did a little stirring as best they could around the rebar, and they didn't have enough concrete to even finish the foundation, and that's a mess. So even the concrete is compromised in these holes, at least 15 inches down and all the way to the bottom, because they were never stirred properly to be congruous, to be a total, I guess, homogeneous, total mix. And then you dump it. They didn't do it. So you want those type of guys working on your property? Well, that's what happened to me.